Hello, welcome to Elisa Reviews Outside. Join me for my lovely, cold March walk as we discuss Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It's not supposed to be snowing. Spring is officially here. Okay, back to the book. Okay, so Pride and Prejudice was the first classical book that I read that wasn't assigned by a school teacher. And it took me a couple of tries to get into it, and recently I've been wanting to reread the classics without having to be assigned. And I decided to read Pride and Prejudice, and I failed. The beginning is so boring. Sorry. But then I got an audiobook from the library, and the beginning again was so boring. I could zone out and then come back in, and things haven't really changed. As it goes on, I found myself, falling in love with the characters again. And at this point, I'd seen the 2000s, 2000 knots Pride and Prejudice movie with Keira Knightley and whatever his name is. Sorry, whatever your name is. And it helped me a lot to visualize things. And I started to fall in love with the characters and realized that it's just such a fun story. Jane Austen does a really good job of making you not hate Mr. Darcy. You see things from his perspective a couple times, but it's mostly from Elizabeth Bennet's point of view. And it's just fun to see these characters interact, and knowing that Regency romance is a big thing nowadays in fiction, you can see why people are still glomming onto it, because this is probably one of the original romances from that era. And when it was written, it was just fiction, not historical fiction. And that's really fun to see. And it's really accessible, and it's just fun. And I love the narrator. A female narrator always throws me for a loop, because women as audiobook narrators can't pitch their voices as low as men can pitch their voices high, in general. And so men voices always make it a little more difficult for me. The female narrators, male voices. But it was just really fun, and like a couple of really standout things. Mrs. Bennet and Mr. Bennet, Elizabeth's parents, were just really fun. Mrs. Bennet, she's so flighty, and the narrator does a really great job of portraying it. And the more you listen to it, the easier it is. And that's something I like to do with classics that I'm having a hard time with. I like to listen to audiobooks instead, because a lot of the times the reason they're so hard to read, there's a lot of literary devices that aren't used as often in modern fiction, but also their language is a little different. You think you're reading English, but it's an older English. It's not from nowadays. And so listening to an audiobook, your brain starts to click and pick up what the cadence is, and what the words are, and it flows a lot more. And so it just helps a lot with me and audiobooks. And the romance is all fine and good. There's it's like, wait, how do these two people get together at the end? There's always that 180. I saw a Twitter feed one time where it was like they were just like quoting Pride and Prejudice, and it was kind of funny because somebody didn't realize what was going on. But also, one person's like, yeah, she didn't fall in love until she saw his house. And it's kind of true. Sorry if that's a spoiler. It's one of the tiniest spoilers. Anyway, if you're trying to get into classics and are having a hard time, Pride and Prejudice is a pretty good one to start with. And if you're still having a hard time, get the audiobook. It's really fun. Anyway, your local library should have an app or even a CD where you can download it and listen to it on the go. Anyway, this is Elisa, and happy reading. Bye.